Hi everyone. I'm going to walk you through your syllabus and course calendar here. Um, so what I want you to do, make sure is that you first open and save both documents. There will be a short quiz after this over this material, so I want to make sure you have all of that available to you. I want to move this as quickly as I can, but this is all really important information, so I want to make sure that you really get a good understanding of the expectations for the course and what you can expect from me as your instructor. If you need my email, it's right here. It's brittany.estes@my.tccd.edu. This is an entirely online course, and it goes from January 17th to May 11th. American Lit since 1865 essentially looks at the development of an American identity from the end of the Civil War up through postmodern lit, which is what we have now. So we're looking at a lot of different texts, a lot of different voices, and really what we're looking at is how these different voices fit together to create a sort of multicultural, multilingual understanding of what America is. You can read the course goals and the learning outcomes for yourself, but the course materials is something I want to make sure that I highlight. So obviously you need access to Blackboard and all of the appropriate applications and softwares for Blackboard. Make sure you have Flash and make sure you have Word. You will absolutely have to have Word for this course, so if you don't have it on your computer, make sure you have a friend or perhaps a computer at the school that you could use to turn in some of your assignments through Word. The textbook you're going to need is a 3-volume textbook. It should all come together in one pack. It's the Norton Anthology of American Lit, volume C, D, and E. And I have the 8th edition. The current edition is probably either the 8th or the 9th edition by this point. So it doesn't matter to me what edition you have, as long as you understand that the page numbers might be a little bit different, things like that. But just find one that's hopefully affordable and has all 3 volumes together. Everything else will be available from me. And Blackboard, I just want to make sure you understand how to use Blackboard and really understand sort of all the different facets and aspects of Blackboard that we're going to be using for this course. If you're not well versed in Blackboard, if this is maybe the first or second time you've taken an online course, I have created a sort of Blackboard 101 video for you. You can find it on the announcements page, or you can find it on the syllabus tab, which I'm going to keep it in there for the rest of the course. So if you ever need a refresher, you can always go to that as well. This course basically has 3 major units of about 5 weeks each, and each unit has its own unit essay. So the first essay will be 20% of your grade, the second one will be the 25% of your grade, and the last essay will be another 20% of your grade. So altogether, your essays create 65% of your grade, and the other 35% comes from quizzes, which are 10. Writing assignments are 10%. Those are graded for content. They're usually about a page long, double-spaced. Your weekly blog and online discussion board assignments, those are worth 5% each. They are usually graded for completion, for kind of thoughtful completion. So together those make up 10% of your grade. And then lastly, your attendance and participation makes up 5% of your grade. And there is an attendance and participation policy in place from TCC, even if it is an online course. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. Here's your grading scale. It's very straightforward. If you need to do an incomplete because something catastrophic happens throughout the semester, all the information is right here. Again, incompletes are very unusual as far as coursework. They require a lot of coordination between the college and the professor and the student. But if something happens and an incomplete needs to happen, we can work on that. Your essays. So essays are submitted by midnight on the Sunday night for each week. So for the assigned week that the essay is due. So your major 3 essays will be due on Sundays. In fact, all of your work that you do for me will be due every week on Sunday night at midnight. So this is a semi-self-paced course, meaning that you will have access to a whole unit at a time. So you'll have access to 5 weeks worth of work at one time. And it's kind of up to you to make sure that you keep pace with the course and make sure that you stay on top of your work. And I want to point this out as well. You'll see in the course when you get to it in just a minute that I have a Monday through Friday designation of each week's work. So it'll say week 1 folder, and then on that it will say February 6th through 10th. That's Monday through Friday. But that doesn't mean that everything is due on February 10th, Friday. It means everything is due 2 days later on Sunday. So if this is week 3, February 6th through 10th, it will say all assignments due by Sunday, February 12th. So I just want to make that very, very clear for everyone. All your essays will be MLA format, so 1-inch margins, double space, Times New Roman, and then Times New Roman Arial or Cambria 12-point font. And then everything is going to be checked through Safe Assign. So I want to point that out. I'm going to talk about the plagiarism policy in just a minute, but just know that everything is checked for plagiarism through Safe Assign. Late work is not accepted simply because it is a semi-self-paced course and you have the ability to work ahead if you need to. Your grades, you can track those throughout the semester in the Blackboard Gradebook tool. I keep them updated on a weekly basis, so you'll always know where you're standing in the course. The attendance policy that I mentioned is a TCC policy, so essentially what it says is if a student is missing more than 15% of your class instruction, that the instructor has the ability to drop the student from the course. All this means is that I simply expect you to keep up with the work every week and make sure that you're engaging with your classmates on discussion boards and things like that, and you should be fine. If you need the withdrawal policy, the information is all right here. Your participation, essentially, as I said, constitutes just the regular completion of your assignments. If I ask you to do a discussion board or respond to someone, that you do that, and that you're really just engaging. And if in emailing me, if you have questions or things that you're not sure about, I want to make sure that we have a really nice open line of dialogue there. The important dates. Class starts January 17th. The last add drop is February 6th as far as getting, I think that's 70 or 100% of your refund. Spring break is March 13th through 19th, and the final day of class is May 11th. Now, plagiarism. This is something I always have to say at the beginning of a class just to make sure it's very, very clear. Do not plagiarize anything. It's very simple. If you plagiarize something, you will get a possible failing grade on the assignment. You'll be subject to failing the course, and you'll face suspension or expulsion from the college. And for me, quite honestly, the most you'll ever write is a 3 to 4 page essay, and it's simply not worth 3 to 4 pages, of work. It's not worth plagiarizing that for possibly being kicked out of the college. It's simply not worth it. Safe Assign, if you've never used it, is incredibly accurate at finding anything that comes from any source. So if it comes from another student's paper, if it comes from the internet, it will highlight it and show me as your instructor exactly where it came from. It will even take me to the other paper or take me to a website. It'll show me exactly the source. It'll find everything. So it's really not worth plagiarizing. I also want to point out that if you do things like change margins or add extra spaces between paragraphs, or even change period sizes, which I have, I've seen students do. I've been doing this for a very long time. You change periods to size 14 or 13. I will catch it. I do open every single paper when they come in, and I go through and I change margins and spacing and font size and everything to make sure that it's all accurate. So please don't do it. It's really very simple. I don't want to fail the course. I don't want to fail you. So essentially, just it's up to you, but please don't do this. As far as what you can expect from me, email response, you'll get a response within 24 hours if you have a question. Assignments have a 2-week return date. That's really for major assignments. I have 3 sections at once, so I'll be kind of rotating which class is graded first as far as major assignments when they all come in. But smaller assignments will be graded within a couple of days. Online office hours, if you need to talk to me in an online office hour because I don't teach at campus, you can set up a time. I don't have a weekly or monthly office hours, but what I can do is if you request it, I will be happy to talk with you. You can also, you can use the instant message function through Blackboard to kind of talk in real time. If you need any student support services, all the information is right here. If you have an academic disability or something that needs to be taken care of through the student support services, you can either let me know directly once you've kind of talked to them and created your plan, or you can have them notify me if you are uncomfortable with letting me know directly. Technical requirements, essentially just have high-speed internet, up-to-date browsers, turn off your pop-up blockers, make sure you have your plugins enabled. If you do this on mobile device, if you do it on an iPad or a phone, Some of the things may not work correctly because Blackboard's just not great at having everything translate between your computer and a mobile device. So I just want you to be aware of that. Make sure you have Reader, Java, and Microsoft Office Suite of some kind. I really essentially just need you to have Word. And then make sure that everything is clear of viruses and that you're familiar with how to use your MyTCC email account. Lastly, if there is some type of technical issue or power outage, first things first, call the 24/7 help desk right there. They are super helpful. They're wonderful. They'll take a call any time of day. You should also send me an email to let me know that there's a technical issue at that moment. And then also, if you can, send a screenshot of the problem, and I will do what I can to help you. Like I said, I've been teaching this for a while, so I know how to kind of work a few different debugs, but I'm no tech expert by any means, so usually the best bet is going to be the 24/7 help desk. All right, so that is your syllabus, and real quickly, I'm going to walk you through your course calendar. So essentially, your course calendar is split up here by weeks, and everything is subject to change if need be at my discretion. And what's going to happen is at the beginning of each unit and the beginning of each week, you receive an individual to-do list that will show you exactly what you're doing that week and all of your assignments. And how this works is I release one unit at a time, so you'll have access to the whole first unit up through February 19th. Once that first essay is turned in, I will release the second unit as a whole. So like I said, this is semi-self-paced, and what this does is allows us, once we get to this, you can work ahead in any of these weeks, but once we get to Unit 2, we want to make sure everybody's on the same page as far as assignments and different things, so that's why I'll release each unit as a whole once the previous unit is finished. So as you can see, weeks 1 through 5, really we're working on this sort of new American identity post-Civil War. So we'll be doing a lot of different authors. We're looking at Twain and Du Bois and Chopin and Jewett and Jack London and Zikal Assad, so a lot of different voices. And what I hope you're seeing throughout all of these is that we're not looking at just the main texts that have been covered in most American Lit classes. We're looking at a lot of voices that often get marginalized or left out of the sort of American literary narrative. So we have female voices, we have African American voices, we have Native American voices. We have a lot of different voices coming in here. So your first essay will be due on Sunday, February 19th. And then your second unit is week 6 through 11, and that essay is going to be due on April 2nd. Importantly, I want you to notice that spring break, you will have no assignments. Everybody goes on vacation, so I want you to enjoy your vacation and then come back ready to work, getting us moving through Harlem Renaissance and all these different things. Your last unit is the postmodern literature unit. You will be working from 12 through week 16 there. And these will be sort of the most modern texts that you'll read. And that essay, the last essay, will be due the Sunday before finals week. So it'll be Sunday, May 7th. Your last essay will be due. I don't have a final exam for you. So if you would like to take advantage of it, there is an extra credit opportunity in finals week instead of a final exam. And that will be due on Tuesday, May 9th. By midnight, because grades are due a couple of days later. So if you choose to take advantage of the extra credit, your last day will be Tuesday, May 9th. If you choose not to, then your last day is Sunday, May 7th. So that is your course calendar. All of this information will stay available in the syllabus tab should you need it. And let me know if you have any questions.